Okay, we just looked at getting to the knee cut from the headquarters position. Now we're going to look at getting to the side smash from the headquarters position and how we can kind of use the two together, one to help set up the other. Got to the headquarters here, and like I mentioned here, a great first technique to go for, one that's difficult to mess up, is the knee cut. I start grabbing, leaning this way, trying to bring my partner this way, but like I mentioned in just setting up the headquarters, oftentimes against intelligent grappler, as you try to force their hips one way, they're going to be switching their hips to defend. So if I start trying to take my partner this way, but he turns his hips, I'm just going to go with what he's doing. I'm not going to try to force something that's not there. So what I'm going to do in this position now is I'm going to turn both of my knees in the direction of his hips. Oftentimes as well, your partner will be holding the pants here. So if he's holding the pants, this is something else that can make going to the knee cut very difficult, because for the knee cut I kind of want to bring my foot to this side, but if he's holding your pants, that can be difficult. So I started trying to go this way, he's defending, so now I turn my knees this way. My outside knee is going to go behind my partner's knee and drop to the mat. We'll get this in from a different angle in a second. My other knee is going to go over the top, and I'm going to drop my knee and then windshield wiper. Sometimes the person will just let go as you start to do this windshield wiper movement. But even if they don't, and I go here, by stapling my leg to the ground, this kind of pins his hand to the mat. So now when I windshield wiper, I can free that grip. And we'll go one more time this way. This is just kind of focusing on what I'm doing with my lower body at the moment. Here, boom. Maybe I tried going for the knee cut. He switches, so I turn. I've got my chest on the outside of his knee. We'll talk about that a little more in a second. Turning, dropping, windshield wiping. So I'm trying to create a cage for his legs with my legs. Both of his legs are kind of trapped in the middle here. And we'll go back this way. So now what I'm doing with my upper body, as my lower body is cutting this angle here, like I just mentioned, we're here. When he switches his hips, I want to try to get my chest to the outside of his knee so that I can use my body weight to help continue to force his hips the rest of the way. And the most common mistake I see people make with this move is when they start doing this, they let their hips turn too much. Now it's very difficult for if someone were to just flare his knee out super hard, he's going to off balance me, potentially throw me over, maybe even come on top. That would be terrible. So as you're leaning to the side here, try to keep your back flat. Don't turn too much like this. Here, boom. As I take him to the side, this hand is going to be reaching around the waist. Sometimes I'll grab the drawstring, sometimes I'll grab the belt. As I drop down to the side, my chest is on the outside of the knee without turning too much. My forehead is going to go to the mat next to my partner's head, and then this hand is going to be looking to grab my partner's arm. One of the main defenses you'll experience once you actually get to the side smash position is your partner turning and trying to get up to their elbow, and then they're going to start scooting away to free their legs. What it'll look like is when I'm here, I sense the hips are facing this way, so I lean like this, and then now I've got my shoulder in front of his shoulder on this position, my hands reaching around the back, my forehead is on the mat, and I'm holding this arm. So now he's not able to hip escape away. And for the finish, my outside leg, the one that's behind him, I'm going to windshield wiper over the top. And then my other one is going to windshield wiper over the top, and I'm going to pass away from the direction of his hips. I want to do it in this way because if I just try to step over, he's going to follow me. He's going to be using his legs to be sticky, trying to follow me. So yeah, this can be tough. So I windshield wiper over to block that. Now I come behind. I try to keep this tight chest connection and just pivot on top. While keeping that underhook low around the waist. Here. The hips are this way. So as I'm going, I'm hugging around the waist. Forehead to the mat. Dropping. Windshield wiping. Holding this arm. One more time this way, just so I can point out that shoulder position I was talking about. To kind of help him, just like with the knee cut, I'm forcing his hips one way, pinning his back flat to the mat. So my shoulder is going to go right here on his shoulder. My head is going right here next to his head. So my head is acting like a cross face. My shoulder is pinning his shoulder to the mat. This arm around his back is stopping him from hip escaping. And then this hand controlling his arm is stopping him from getting up to his elbow. This one is my personal favorite. I feel like once you get to the actual position, it's a lot harder for the person to defend, but the caveat to that is it's also a little bit harder to get to. And yeah, keep in mind, these positions work really well when you use them together. You lead with one, as a person defends, you go the other way. So you can start with side smash, person hip escapes, you go right to knee cut. Or you can start with knee cut, the person turns their hips, and then you go right into the side smash.